Hello! Can you believe the last time I posted on YouTube was in February? It's currently May, but in my defense, I've been posting very consistently on Instagram, so if you follow me there, I may not seem too unfamiliar. However, if you only follow me here or if you're new here, then hello, my name is Zoe. I love sharing my life through music I like and records I've discovered. Also, I love jazz. I feel like I just need to put that out there in case it's not clear. So anyways, I feel like the perfect way to come back on YouTube is to do a spring favorites. This way I can summarize the past couple months through records I found and music I've been loving. So without further ado, let's start with January. I don't know why I did that so dramatically, but January was fun. January was when I first moved back to California, and I didn't bring a lot of records over, so I was kind of heavily record shopping to make up for the fact that I had to leave everything in Taiwan for now. So in January, I got a total of 5 records. The first 3 I actually vlogged about. I think was the last video I posted on here, but it was to search for my dream record, Charm by Clairo. I absolutely adore this record. This was my album of the year of 2024. I listened to it front to back for a really long time. I also got it in their independent record store variation, Lilac Purple. Look at that. Oh my god, it's so pretty. You're gonna notice a theme the more you get to know me, which is I love colored variants. I love funky, quirky designs. I think that's just a part of the charm, no pun intended, of record collecting. The other record I didn't include in my vlog though is this one. This is Clairo's limited edition big crown pressing. It only has Juna and Terrapin on this. I actually saw her post about this on her story like as soon as she posted, but I didn't get it for some reason. Like 1 minute later, it was already sold out. I don't know how people do that, but I was lucky enough to have come across this at a record store in Silver Lake. It was also only $12. I'm surprised it wasn't upcharged by a lot based on how limited it is, but you know, lucky me. This is probably my prized possession. This is, I think, when I peaked in January, or in life really, is when I got this record. In my vlog, when I was on the hunt for Clairo's Charm, I went to my favorite record store in OC called Analog Records. They have a really good selection of used jazz records, which is why I love going there, and that's where I got these 2. The first one is It Might As Well Be Spring by Ike Quebec. I've been pronouncing it Ike Quebec because, I mean, I'm not even Japanese, but when I see Ike, I just think it's Ike. It's Ike, like Mike and Ike. Someone commented about this on my video and also on my Instagram, and I just look like an idiot, but whatever. You live and learn. It's fine. I got this record because I really liked Ike Quebec's Soul Samba. He has a really mellow sax tone, and this song also has a lot of popular jazz standards like It Might As Well Be Spring, you know, the title, and Willow Weep for Me, that's also a popular one. But I actually listened to this, it was so good. And the third record is Cal Jader's Concert by the Sea. I'm a Cal Jader fan. I'm just gonna put it out there. You're gonna notice this, that I am a Cal Jader fan. I don't know how that happened. It just happened. When I saw this Concert by the Sea, I thought of Errol Garner's Concert by the Sea, and I'm like, why are people copying each other's album title? Turns out it's just the same concert recorded by the sea. They were both recorded at the Monterey Jazz Festival, which is held in this little town in California called Carmel by the Sea. So it's called Concert by the Sea because of that. So, you know, the more you know. A few weeks later when I was in LA, I went to Little Tokyo, and there's this record store called Going Underground. I think they have 2 stores, one in Bakersfield and the other one obviously in Little Tokyo. I've been there a couple of times. I quite like it. I feel like they have more newer records than they have older ones. So if you're just looking for newer records, great place to go. The price is good. But at the store, I got this Amal Jamal at the top because I really like his version of Poinciana, which is in this record. And the other one is Anita O'Day. I actually haven't listened to this one, but Anita O'Day is just a very classic voice. I feel like she's slightly underrated as a female jazz artist, because usually when you think of female jazz artists, you think of like Ella Fitzgerald. Who else? Oh my god, I'm blanking. Sarah Vaughan, also another good one. Blossom Dearie. Those are the voices you normally think of, but I think Anita O'Day is also really good. There are 2 records, 4 sides in here, a lot of classics as well. Some that you might know. It Had to Be You, The Way You Look Tonight, Come Rain or Come Shine. Anyways, there's a lot of standards in here, and it's just beautiful. It's also a big band record, so if you like that big, grandiose jazz sound, perfect record. Sure, you can find this on Spotify. or Apple Music, or wherever you stream music. I don't want to discriminate. And that's all for records. Moving on to albums that I listened to. I wrote them down, so don't mind me as I take a little sneak peek because I'm not gonna remember it on the top of my head. The first one is Bad Bunny's Debi Tiga Mas Fotos. This album, absolute banger. I don't think I skipped a single song. It gave me major summer vibes and took me out of my seasonal sad January depression. I also think this album is so special because it blends a lot of genre from his cultural roots such as bolero, salsa, urbano musica, Latin pop. And I remember talking to some of my friends who share similar cultural roots as him, and they talked about how nostalgic it felt even for their parents. And I just love albums that do more than just sound good. Like, they tie in that cultural root, they build community. It's just a really good vibe. The second album is Bill Charlap's And Then Again, the live version. This album came out a couple years ago, but I only recently discovered it. I love Bill Charlap. He's probably my favorite active jazz pianist out there right now. I really want to see a show of his in New York. He never comes to LA. So I have to go to New York to see him, and I hope he plays when I do go. I mean, I'm obviously would love to go to New York as someone who loves jazz, but it'd be even better if he comes to LA so I can see him ASAP, you know? But anyways, one of my favorite jazz standards is Darn That Dream, and he plays that in there, which is why I think I like this album a lot. And the third album is by this indie rock band called Private. I listened to the album NSYNC because a friend recommended it to me. It's not something I normally listen to, but I thought it was really cool. I also learned from their bio that they're a duo band that formed on Discord, which is interesting, and they also opened for Wave to Earth. So I feel like that vibe might be similar. And that's all for January. Moving on to February. February, I'm telling you, was so fun. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen me posted about this already. So if you want to see me post about it more often, go follow me on Instagram. Is that a shameless plug? Yes, it is. The reason why I say it's fun is because I went to my first record fair ever in California. Specifically, I went to the OC Record Fair, which happens every month. And at the record fair, I got a total of 6 records, so let's go through them. Starting with the most special one, it's Rainforest by Walter Wanderley. Walter Wanderley is this amazing pianist slash organist, that's kind of hard to say. I remember finding this in the dollar bin and I was so excited, but I asked the vendor if he had a better copy because the condition of this is really bad and it's one of my favorites, so I want it to be in a better condition. And he was like, oh no, this is the only copy, but you can just have it because I'm just trying to get rid of it. And I was like, trying to get rid of it? What do you mean you're trying to get rid of it? This is such a special album. So yeah, even though the condition isn't the best, I'm just happy to have it. It still plays, at least Rain. There were no skips, so that's good. And usually when vendors are so nice like that, I try to do something in return. So I looked through the records that he was selling to see if there's anything that I liked, and I got this one. Autentico by Bola Seche. Bola Seche is a Brazilian guitarist, and I found out about him because he used to play with Vince Guaraldi back in his Latin jazz era. And you know, like when you're at a record fair, at first you weren't really seeing anything, and then once you found one thing, your luck suddenly opens up and you start finding a bunch of amazing finds. That's what happened to me because afterwards I found this one. This is The Amazing World of Antonio Carlos Jobim. This is his second record. His first album I think was called The Composer of Desafinado Sings because he's the composer of Desafinado and he sings in it. And in that album is where you would find a lot of that iconic bossa nova standards such as Girl from Ipanema, Corcovado. In this one, not as much, but there's still a lot of good ones such as Dindi, Agua de Bebe, I think is also a really good one. But yeah, we love Antonio Carlos Jobim. In case you don't know, he is basically the founding father of bossa nova, so we love and respect him. Moving on is Julie Is Her Name by Julie London. I think this might be the most iconic Julie London record. A lot of her famous songs are on here, such as Cry Me a River, I'm in the Mood for Love. That one's really popular. I'm Glad There Is You. If you're not familiar with her, she just has this very sultry, dark, sexy voice and a really iconic female jazz singer. The 5th record I got is Dave Brubeck's Octet. Octet is a lot of instruments. I actually don't know what instruments are in here, but I mainly just got it because I don't know if you can see. I got it because I saw Cal Jader's name. Crazy fan. But also there's Paul Desmond. I haven't mentioned Paul Desmond in this video yet. Amazing sax player. And the last record I got at the record fair is something kind of special to me. So I saw this booth at the end of the exit. It was when we were about to leave. I was just kind of browsing through it, waiting for my friend, and the vendor was like, wait, you look kind of familiar. Have you been to our booth before? I was like, no, it's actually my first time. She's like, oh, why do you look so familiar? And then she realized she recognized me from my YouTube videos, not even from Instagram, from YouTube. And she said she watched my Japan record vlogs, and I was just so happy. And obviously when that happens, you gotta support your homegirl, right? So I saw this Band on the Run record by Paul McCartney and the Wings. This album is one of those albums where I only really like one song, but I like it enough to want to have the entire album. So obviously it's not like I set my heart out looking for this record, but if I do see it, I'll buy it kind of thing. Which, by the way, the song that I really like is Bluebird. Such a good song. So moving on to albums that I listened to. The first album is Role Models, Kansas Anymore, The Longest Goodbye. I started listening to this record because I heard a lot of clips on TikTok. Then I noticed a lot of the songs on this album were going viral. So I was like, okay, there has to be a reason why it's going viral all the time. So I listened to it and I loved it. I can actually say this might be my country music awakening, you know what I mean? The second album is Where the Butterflies Go in the Rain, the deluxe version. The original version came out a couple months ago, but I just started listening to the deluxe version. And I don't know, Raveena is just the queen. Like if you ever need calming, introspective, like healing frequency music, she's the girl you go to. Third album, I love this one. It's Chet Baker Reimagined. This is a project done by Blue Note where they invited different artists across different genres and different countries to cover popular Chet Baker songs. I first heard about this when I heard Dodie post a cover of Old Devil Moon. I thought it was so cool. Then I started noticing some other artists post about it, such as Grant Perez covering But Not For Me and Matt Maltese covering My Funny Valentine, which is such a good mix. There are more songs from this album coming out because I remember seeing that there were Eloise, Matilda Mann, Benny Sings, like they're also going to cover different songs. It'll come out soon, I think, so I'm really excited for that. But overall, I think this is just such a cool thing that Blue Note is doing because they're one of the biggest jazz labels out there, and the fact that they're really proactively getting younger audiences to listen to jazz in this type of collaboration way, sick. I approve. The fourth album is Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. I know this album came out end of last year. I listened to it a lot, but the reason why I listened in February is because I went to his concert. Finally! I've been wanting to go to his concert for so long, and finally he was in LA. I went the day after Valentine's Day, I think. Such a good show, amazing energy. And you know, like before you go to a concert, you listen to the album and like their entire discography over and over so you can really be prepared to sing your heart out. That's kind of what happened. And that's all for February. Moving on to March. I really don't know what happened in March. I can't remember much about March. In total, I got 4 records, starting with Gorilla by James Taylor. I got this record from Fingerprints Music. It's a place that I have saved in, I think, Long Beach. The interior of that record store is really cool, like high ceilings, open window, very bright and spacious, also smells really good. I got this record also just because I like that one song, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. Very classic song. And that's really the only reason I got it. I haven't listened to this record ever since I got it, which is kind of bad. I should listen to it. I'm gonna put it aside. Okay, moving on. Oh, a week later, I was invited by Discogs to this event that they hosted. It was their first ever live listening party, and the night before they hosted a social event. They hosted it at this record bar in Highland Park called Goldline. I love that record bar. I honestly don't think there are a lot of record bars in LA, so that's one of the few. Also, Highland Park I feel like is slightly underrated. There's so many record stores there, so walkable, a lot of little stores too. So yeah, when I got there early, I checked out some record stores around there. I first went to Gimme Gimme Records, which is a record store I've been to before. But when I was there, I found Cornbread by Lee Morgan. This is also a record I've been looking for a long time. His song Ciora is so good. I wish there was a better way for me to describe these songs. I feel like all I say is, oh my god, it's so good, it's amazing. But that's just really how I feel about it. I don't know how else to tell you. Afterwards, I walked to this other record store. It's a small store, but it's quite spacious. There's like a single row in the middle of maybe 12 boxes where you could dig through used records. And since I was just killing time, I just dug through them and got this one. This is an album by Stan Getz and Jimmy Rolls called The Peacocks. Never heard of it, only know Stan Getz, and I got it, as you can tell, maybe, because of this cover. I mean, it's a peacock piano. How do you see a record cover of a peacock piano and not buy it, you know? Also, doesn't he kind of look like Hayao Miyazaki? like Studio Ghibli Miyazaki. Then the weekend after, I just had an empty Saturday, so I decided to do some solo record shopping. I drove to Pasadena because I had a lot of record stores saved there. Never been to Pasadena before. And the first record store I went to was Puba Records. It's one of those record stores where a lot of my record collecting friends have recommended or posted about. So obviously I had to go. You could tell that that place was old, but it also has a lot of history, and I love record stores that have that kind of history embedded into them. The owner was also so nice. I'm gonna presume that he is the owner. He was super nice, just smiley, and I asked him if I could film in the record store, and he's like, oh yes, of course, thank you for asking. I don't know, he's just nice. So anyways, I got this record by Dave Pell. Never heard of Dave Pell, but it's a big band record, and I love big band jazz. Also, I got it because it said it's a brown colored vinyl, which I thought was kind of funny. Whenever record stores label that they're brown, I'm just like, is that not black? Does that not look black to you, actually? I stand by what I said. This definitely looks black. It's like translucent black, which makes it brown. You know what? I can kind of tell that it's brown. Against a white background, it does look brown. That's pretty. Also, as I was preparing for this video, I noticed that they had an embossing design on this record cover, which I love these little attention to detail to these cover designs. So that adds an extra point for me. Another record store that I went to in Pasadena that also has a lot of history is Canterbury Records. They have a section of a lot of CDs, cassettes, DVDs, and then like a small section of vinyl. In comparison, it feels smaller. I got this classic record by Paul Simon. It's again one of those things where I know that song, love that song, so I got the album kind of thing. And about 10 minutes walking distance from Canterbury is this record store called Sibyline. I think it's pronounced Sibyline, S-I-B-Y-L-I-N-E. It's a really small record store. It gave living room vibes, but I actually love record stores that are so small because even though there's not a lot of records you can look through, they're usually highly curated, so you can really discover good music. And by good music, I mean Cal Jader. Are we surprised? At this point, are we surprised? Not really. This is Warm Wave by Cal Jader. I've never listened to this album before, but I got it because it's Cal Jader. Crazy fan, I'm telling you. And that's all for March. I feel like I started out March saying I didn't do much. Did I? I actually did a lot. It just flew by. But anyways, albums that I listened to. First is Grant Perez's Backflips in a Restaurant. I really like Grant Perez's music. He released this in March, so I listened to it a lot. Some of my favorites are Nice to Meet You, Falling for a Friend, Fuzzy Feeling, Reason Why, Dandelion, and 2DK. It sounds like I listed the entire album. I didn't. There are other songs, but they're all really good. The second album is Hot by Le Sserafim. I am now shamelessly a K-pop fan. I really like this EP by Le Sserafim, particularly Come Over, because it sounds like that one song by Jungle. The third album is Papora by Catriel and Paco Amoroso. I learned about Catriel and Paco Amoroso because I made a video about Lollapalooza. In the video, I was talking about how excited I was for the lineup, and I asked people who I should check out as well, and a lot of people recommended Catriel and Paco Amoroso. I am so happy they did. It's an amazing album. It's like a good fusion of jazz, Latin pop, super fun. I especially love the two songs Impastor and Reforo. And finally, that leads us to April. April really flew by. I was kind of busy, so I didn't go record shopping, but that doesn't mean we didn't get any fun records. This first one is Out There by Hiromi. I was lucky enough to be invited to her concert by her label Concord, which so grateful for. I've been a fan of Hiromi since I saw her Tiny Desk concert, and the energy exactly the same. She sounded exactly the same as the recordings as well. I got this record before the show and then found out at the end of the show that she actually signs them. So this is officially my first signed record by Hiromi too. Isn't that cool? The second record is Loewe's Valentine heart-shaped vinyl. This is in the strawberry and chocolate pressing design. It's so cute. I ordered this on Valentine's Day, but it didn't ship till April, but totally worth it because it's so cute, my gosh. And then the last record technically shouldn't even be here because I got this, I think, over the summer last year, but I didn't open it and listen to it till April. And that is Ventura by Anderson .Paak. Ventura is probably one of my top 3 favorite albums of his, and I didn't really pay attention to the record design until I opened it. And I saw he wrote a little tribute to Mac Miller, which made me really emotional. Do you see this? Look at him. Yeah, this great album. All the songs on here I love, and that's all the records for April. As for albums I listened to, like I mentioned earlier, April was kind of a busy month, so I didn't really spend a lot of time discovering new albums or new music. I was more so just listening to stuff that I listened to the past couple of months, but I did come across this Oscar Peterson quartet album called Night Child. I remember when I first heard the song Night Child, I was surprised that it was by Oscar Peterson because it sounded kind of different than the Oscar Peterson that we're used to. The second album is Adam Melchor's The Diary of Living. Adam Melchor is this LA-based indie folk pop singer that I really like. I think he even toured with Loewe at some point. So yeah, when the album came out, obviously listened to it a lot. So yeah, that's all for my spring favorites. I'd also love to know what you guys are listening to because I need some inspirations for new music and also records to buy. And let me know if you found any new favorites from the stuff that I just talked about as well. And that's all. Take care and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.